Hey there, folks. My goodness, it's good to see ya. Well, I can't see ya, but it's also good to know that you're here. Maybe you're here, or maybe I'm just talking to myself. No one's listening anymore. We've stopped doing this regularly, but we're going to try and do it more regularly. So welcome to Aghast. We got a good one for you today. I think. I hated it, and I hate the bad guy in it. So I hope you do too, otherwise you're an asshole. But here's just a sampler, just a taste of what we have to enjoy today. We got childhood blowjobs from extended family members. We have jerking off to fire. Like you're finding fire sexy and then you jerk off to it. And then we also have jerking off on a bridge next to a van. On a bridge next to a van. And then we have line about Vietnam. So, if that piques your interest, by God, you're in for a happy fucking time. This is going to scratch that goddamn itch that's been boiling up on your ass crack. This is fucking true crime. This is fucking Aghast. Buckle the fuck up and pour yourself a drink. Here we go. I'm John. And I am Kat, who is currently getting ready to play some Gears of War 4 with me, motherfucker. And this is Aghast. Holy Mary, Mother of Judas, my goodness. Holy fuck. Fudge. Rumpelstiltskin. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to another goddamn beautiful episode of Aghast. Holy tits. You ready for some true crime? I'm not done saying hello. Don't you fucking try and interrupt me with your salutations. God damn it.
I am here as well.
Yes, we're both here. You ready to talk about some smack? About some deep, macabre, motherfucking dank shit? I sure am. What do we got today, Kat?
I would like to point out that I am drinking alone in this recording, which I find repulsive.
Oh, God.
You make me feel like an alcoholic when I do this.
Because you are an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic.
Not in my recovering stage right now.
Recovering from the week, from the day of work.
That's right.
Christ. Is it going to be a good one today? We haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We're a bit rusty.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck to do anymore.
Gotta get your tetanus shot from us.
Yeah, that's terrible. If you say fuck it and then turn this off right now, I don't blame you.
All right.
But for those of you sticking around, here we go.
Well, are you going to give us our disclaimer, dear John?
Yes, I will give the disclaimer.
Now, you do want to play Gears of War at some point tonight.
Yeah,
so
I know, okay.
Let's see how badly John wants to play based off of how brief his disclaimer is.
Okay. All right, cue the fucking music. Hey, folks. That's right. We here at Aghast have a lighter touch to true crime. The lightest touch you could possibly fucking imagine. We are like that little bit of castor oil you put on either, depending on how severe things are, the tip of your pinky finger or the tip of your middle finger, your longest finger. Sometimes maybe your thumb if you're excited and you're worried about that bulbous, maybe it's cancer, maybe it's just a hemorrhoid, protrusion on just the outset of your asshole. And you take that castor oil on your desired finger and you just reach back after and drench that bulbous cyst-like thing, fleshy and stinky. And you coat it in castor oil, believing that will shrink it. That will stop whatever cancer that might be. And then you pull your arm back around, and you look at yourself in the mirror, and you got like one anal hair kind of hanging off your glazed finger, and you give it a sniff, and you know, by God, tonight's the night. We are that finger coated in castor oil.
I was wondering if we were the hemorrhoid.
No. We are the finger coated in castor oil, massaging the cancer-ridden asshole of true crime on the fucking idiot. of podcasts. So if you are not in favor of belittling and insulting and making fun of and shitting upon murderers, rapists, and the assholes who created them and all the other bastards who made it easier for them to do what they did, if you don't like that, you're a clown and you follow Rachel Zegler on X and you can go straight to fucking hell. For the rest of you, you're courageous and intelligent and cultured, and we welcome you. And we hope you enjoy this dip into the debauchery and the depraved, and you get whatever you're looking for. Bless your hearts. Good luck and drive home safe and drink up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not brief at all. And
no, not at all.
No, you didn't change anything.
No, the sun's going down now. So here we go. Let's go, sister.
And don't forget, guys, that at the end of our outro, stick around for our bloopers.
Or 6.
Yeah, sometimes the bloopers are longer than the actual episode.
Just drink for swearing. That's the best way to do it.
This one you'll want to drink for cop fuck-ups as well.
Cock fuck-ups. Cock fuck-ups.
Cop. C-O-P.
Oh. All right. Cop.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's get on with the goddamn show.
All right. Arthur John Shawcross was born June 6th, 1945 in Kittery, Maine to Arthur Roy Shawcross and Elizabeth Bessie Shawcross.
Okay, are these the bad guys?
Well, you'll have to wait and find out.
Well, you know, one thing. Old fuck alert!
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
He was the first of 4 to Arthur and Bessie.
Bessie.
When Arthur was a young child, the family moved to Waterton, New York. Allegedly, Arthur had a difficult upbringing. He was a chronic bedwetter, which we know is part of the McDonald triad, which we spoke about in other cases.
He was a bedwetter? Is that why they called it Waterton?
Good one. Oh my God. For those of you who don't know, the McDonald triad, also known as the triad of sociopathy, is a set of 3 behavioral characteristics that are believed by some to be common in individuals who engage in violent behavior, particularly in relation to serial killers. The triad consists of 3 elements.
Yeah, what is that? Being an asshole, being a fuck up, and being a liberal? Being a voter for Kamala Harris?
Mamala.
Yeah. Having a Ukrainian flag on your X account? Having a rainbow bumper sticker on your fucking Jeep?
Enuresis. This refers to bedwetting beyond the age at which it is considered developmentally appropriate.
Okay, I feel like already that whatever is supposed to be developmentally appropriate has widened in recent years.
Some theorists suggest that persistent bedwetting past a certain age may indicate an underlying psychological issue.
Either that or you had a lot of whiskey.
Pyromania. Pyromania is a psychological disorder characterized by an impulse control problem relating to fire-setting behavior. Individuals with pyromania experience a compulsion to set fires, often experiencing feelings of excitement or tension relief when doing so.
Yeah, setting fires, playing with lighters, fucking edgy.
And then lastly, cruelty to animals, which we know is a big one. Fuck
these people.
This involves a pattern of behavior where an individual inflicts harm or cruelty upon animals. And this behavior may include torturing, killing them, or otherwise causing them suffering.
Those people can straight up fuck off. Did you ever know any pyromaniacs in high school? There was always one douchebag with a Zippo.
Yeah. Not that I'm sure there was. Yeah.
I was a smoker when I was like in my 20s, and there was always like someone who had like, check it out, and he had like a butane lighter.
Yeah. And the flame would be like 12 inches high.
And it's like, okay, well, you just singed like off your nose hairs and your eyebrow and your eyelashes, and your fucking cigarette is burned all the way down.
And you're in your 20s.
Yeah, it's just like, well, get back in the strip club, you fucking loser.
It's important to note that while the McDonald triad has been discussed in forensic psychology and popular culture, its validity and relevance to understanding violent behavior, particularly in serial killers, is debated within the field.
What field?
And it's the psychology field. Some researchers argue that these behaviors may be indicative of underlying psychological issues. But they are not necessarily predictive of future violent behavior.
All right, let's try it one more time.
Additionally, many individuals who exhibit one or more of these behaviors do not go on to commit violent acts.
No, you have to go back and fucking
No, it's fine.
Read it again. You don't have to edit this crap.
So I said underlining. So what?
Oh. No one's gonna ever take us seriously.
Drink for underlining, everyone. I meant to say underlying and didn't want to do the take again.
You didn't even say it. Underlying. Lying.
Arthur later said that his aunt began performing oral sex on him starting at the age of 7. I'm sorry. What a drastic turn that.
Was he complaining or is he just stating?
Definitely complaining. Or he later said it. So he was just making a statement, I'm sure.
Jesus.
And that when he entered junior high, he started having sexual interactions with his sister.
What? Who started what?
Though his parents and siblings claim that Arthur had nothing but a normal childhood.
What?
Arthur was known as the school bully and would act out violently. He eventually dropped out in high school at 15 years old in 1960.
Which I feel like is pretty normal for 1960. Like, people were dropping out of high school all the time back then. Weren't they? Like,
I don't know. I can't speak to that.
Okay.
Not much is known between the time of his dropping out of school and at 21 years of age, but somewhere between that time, he had met a woman named Sarah, and they got married in September of 1964 and had a son.
Oh, God. Who started doing fellatio on this poor child?
However, in April of 1967, when he was 21 years old, he was drafted to the United States Army. He left his wife and gave up his parental rights to their son, never seeing him again. Probably
for the best. I can already see this guy's going to be fucked up in the head.
Arthur served in the 4th Infantry Division in the Vietnam War, which he seemed to really love. He often bragged about his gruesome exploits. He engaged in cannibalism while in Vietnam, bragged about beheading mamasans, which means women of authority, such as a woman in charge of a geisha house or a nightclub, for example. It would nail their heads to trees.
Wow, so, Jesus Christ, he's like the Predator. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Though it is alleged that he never saw a day of combat, and Arthur was known to fabricate stories.
Oh my goodness, so he's
we don't
one of
know
those
if it's.
douchebags.
We do not know, though, if it's true or not, but that's just what these are sides of different stories, right?
So he's like Kamala Harris's running mate.
After his stint in the Vietnam War, Arthur was replaced at Fort Sill in Lawton, Oklahoma, as an armorer. Again, sometime between that, he had married his second wife, Linda. Linda witnessed disturbing behaviors from Arthur. She had noticed his fascination with starting fires. When she spoke to an army psychiatrist about it, they had stated that Arthur would get sexually aroused by fire.
What? The guy's like jerking off like to a campfire.
Or gets a boner.
Everyone's like we're trying to have s'mores here, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have s'more. That's right. Let me get that fucking hot sugary cream.
Linda and Arthur moved from Oklahoma to Clayton, New York. Shortly after the relocation, Linda would file for divorce. The divorce drove Arthur to begin committing crimes like burglary and arson.
Yeah, that's what divorce does. Just breaking into places and then setting them on fire.
Because of this, he would get arrested and he would end up being sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Nice.
But would be granted early release after only serving 22 months for good behavior.
What?
What was his good behavior? Well, during a prison riot, he had rescued a correctional officer. So they gave him early release. After his release, he returned to Watertown, New York. On April 7th, 1972, Arthur would claim his first victim.
Oh, fuck off.
10-year-old Jack Blake.
Oh, fuck off, a 10-year-old?
Who was a neighbor of Arthur's.
Of course.
Arthur had taken Jack fishing one afternoon, and then the boy would end up going missing.
Where is this kid's fucking parents?
Not surprisingly, Arthur would deny any knowledge of what happened to Jack. On April 22nd, 1972, Arthur would marry wife number 3, Penny Sherbino, who also happened to be pregnant with Arthur's child.
Oh, God.
5 long months after Jack Blake had gone missing, his body was found. The autopsy would determine that he had been sexually assaulted and then suffocated.
Oh, this fucking bastard.
September of 1972 would turn up another body, 8-year-old Karen Ann Hill. She was located under a bridge and had been raped and killed.
Oh, fuck off. Damn it.
Detectives would find leaves, mud, and debris lodged in her throat was forcibly put down there. Neighbors came forward saying that they had seen Arthur with Karen near the bridge, and it was already known that Arthur would have had frequent run-ins with young children.
What? He had frequent run-ins with young children? How does one have frequent run-ins? Like, yeah, he's around the playground a lot. He hangs out, like, in the fucking, like, McDonald's playpen. Fucking asshole.
Arthur was immediately suspected by the police.
No shit.
On October 3rd, 1972, Arthur was arrested, and he confessed to killing both Jack Blake and Karen Ann Hill. But shockingly, he was only charged with Karen's murder due to the lack of evidence for Jack Blake. But they had a confession. I mean, in the 70s.
What the fuck is this shit?
He was sentenced to 25 years in prison, and his wife would file for divorce.
Oh, is that all?
Despite being in prison for murdering a child, Arthur would be released on parole after only serving 15 years in April of 1987.
This is fucking stupid.
This obviously made a lot of people very upset. There was such a public outcry over this decision that Arthur had to leave the area with his new girlfriend, Rose Wally.
How big is this guy's dick? Like, how high is his charisma level? Like,
how
he keeps getting bitches.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. How
you could
stupid.
tell I was angry writing this.
Like, how stupid were these bitches back then?
Because Arthur's case was so public, he was pretty much hated no matter where he went. So do you know what the police did? What a kind service they did for him?
What?
They sealed his record to prevent further public alarm.
Are you fucking kidding me?
This
guy fucking preys on children. Oh, but we don't want him to feel ostracized.
So,
fucking retards.
Rose and Arthur moved to Rochester, New York, and got married, making her lucky wife number 4.
Yeah.
He worked various different jobs and would often cheat on Rose with prostitutes and eventually a new girlfriend named Clara. On March...
It's Clara.
I almost said Clara. I'm like, I'm not a douchebag, so that's why I didn't say it. On March 24th, 1988, hunters had stumbled upon the body of 27-year-old Dorothy Blackburn, who worked as a sex worker. Her body had been dumped in the Genesee River, and it was very clear that she endured a terrible death.
Oh, God.
Dorothy's body had bite marks all over it, including the groin area.
Oh, my God, what the fuck?
Her cause of death had been strangulation. Sadly, her death would remain unsolved for over a year. It wasn't until another sex worker, Anna Steffen, would be found on September 9th, 1989. The police would start linking the crimes to a possible serial killer. Anna was also dumped and had died of strangulation.
God, this guy fucking sucks. I hate him so bad. I hope he gets strangled at the end of this. Like, fuck this fucking asshole. Give him a good strangling and a rape.
The body of Dorothy Keeler, a 59-year-old homeless woman, would be discovered on October 21st, 1989. And just 6 days after that, in the same location, a sex worker named Patricia Ives' body would also be found. Both were strangled to death. These deaths led to the birth of the Genesee River Killer nickname.
Genesee?
Genesee River.
The internet won't tell us how to pronounce these. But can you imagine a 59-year-old homeless woman?
Oh, jeez.
Like, what the fuck? Like, children, prostitutes.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Girl,
like
boy, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's just out to have fun. Fucking bastard.
Investigators were able to conclude that the killer had tried some method of concealment, though not very damn well, and that the killer may have had military experience. The police asked the sex workers in the area to be cautious and began the work of checking criminal records in the area. But because the wonderful police department sealed Arthur's criminal record in 1987 so he could have an unbothered life, his criminal activity did not come up for the police.
I hope those fucking cops, whatever cop decided to do this, I hope he got raped in the ass with a fucking tree branch. Fucking asshole.
Sadly, despite word of the killer on the loose, this did not deter Arthur. Many other sex workers had been found murdered.
Oh, God.
After speaking with other sex workers, police were able to put together a description of the possible suspect that was a regular client with the workers, and he would go by the name Mike or Mitch. The sex workers told police that this John was known to have very violent tendencies. It wasn't much, but at least police now have a little more to go on. On Thanksgiving Day, 1989, June Stott's body would be found strangled. She had also been anally mutilated.
God damn it.
And
fuck?
And had her labia removed and was gutted from throat to crotch.
Oh, what the fuck is this shit?
June was not a drug user nor a sex worker. Arthur was stepping outside of his normal victims.
Oh, I think he's done that like several times already. The fuck.
The police were desperate to find whoever was responsible for this, so they had reached out to the FBI for assistance. The profilers had described the killer as a white male in his 20s or 30s, familiar with the area, likely had a previous record, and comfortable enough for the victims to get inside his vehicle. They also stated that the killer likely had sexual dysfunction as there was a lack of sexual interference with the victims. They also believe he was getting more comfortable given the violent nature of June's post-mortem injuries, and likely returned to the crime scene to relive the attacks.
Oh, what a fucking loser. What a piece of trash.
On November 27th, 1989, Elizabeth Gibson's body would be discovered. The sex workers would notify the police that John, quote, Mitch, had been seen with her shortly before she had gone missing. Police were hoping that they were inching a little bit closer. On December 31st, 1989, a pair of jeans were located near a river. The pocket of these jeans had an ID card for a Felicia Stevens. Police began an aerial search after these jeans turned up, and 2 days later, on January 2nd, 1990, a helicopter would find a naked female body that was deceased. She was lying atop an ice surface of the river. This wasn't the body of Felicia Stevens, but would be the mutilated body of a missing sex worker named June Cicero. She had been nearly sawn in half.
How does he get away with this? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's like, how many of these people?
Yeah, like, it's like,
and the
boom,
things he's
boom,
doing,
boom.
he's just in such a short period of time.
Yeah. This would not be the only discovery police would make at that moment. The helicopter also spotted a man standing on a bridge next to the river near a small van masturbating.
As you do, you know.
Arthur, as police had predicted, returned to his crime scenes.
And decided to wank. What a fucking loser.
Probably turned him on.
What a fucking loser.
As police were alerted of Arthur's presence, he had sped away, likely spotting the helicopter or approaching police presence. Arthur's vehicle registration was under his mistress's name, Clara. After Arthur was approached, he agreed to speak with the police. When asked for his driver's license, he stated that he did not have one, and also admitted that he had been in jail for the child murders. Investigators took Arthur in for questioning and took a photograph of Arthur. This photo was taken to the multiple witnesses who had seen Mitch, and they confirmed Arthur's photo was the John going by Mitch and Mike.
Thank God.
Arthur maintained his innocence, insisting that it was just a coincidence and that he had been urinating near Jane's body. At first, the investigators weren't sure if they were going to be able to link Arthur as the killer because with him being a pedophile, it's rare that they change their victim types, which you pointed out.
Yeah.
Especially so drastically from child to adult.
Well, it's like not even child to, it's like was child to senior for some of these.
However, knowing that he was the John the other sex workers had identified as Mitch, they were pretty certain they had the right guy and would apply a lot more pressure on Arthur during his interviews. For a while, Arthur continued to maintain his innocence, but he eventually caved and he confessed. He stated he killed Elizabeth Gibson because she tried to steal his wallet. Then the pent-up anger about his mother rose to the surface, and he took it out on her, strangling her. He then led investigators to the disposal sites where he dumped the bodies of Darlene Trippi and Marie Welch. By the end of it, investigators had a 79-page confession from Arthur Shawcross.
Wow, they really did lay the pressure on this fuck.
Arthur Shawcross pleaded guilty by reason of insanity.
Fuck that.
Testimony from a psychiatrist stated that Arthur has dissociative identity disorder and PTSD from his child abuse and time in Vietnam War. However, profiler Robert Ressler would review this testimony for the side of the prosecution and would state that he believed all of Arthur's stories about the terrible crimes in Vietnam and cannibalism were untrue and made up.
Yeah.
Either way, after 13 weeks, Arthur would be found guilty of all his 10 counts of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 250 years in prison.
Oh, just kill the bastard.
A few months later, he pleaded guilty in Elizabeth Gibson's murder and was sentenced to life for her crime. In 2003, Arthur Shawcross would be interviewed for a documentary on cannibalism for a British reporter named Catherine English. During this interview, Arthur spoke about cutting out and eating the genitals of 3 of his victims. When asked if he did the same to his first victim, Jack Blake, he refused to admit or speak about that. In 2006, he was interviewed for the Disney Discovery Channel's Most Evil series. There, he would admit that he sexually abused his sister when he was a child, and he would allege that his mother sexually abused him as a child. He also stated he murdered the sex workers out of revenge over having sex with a worker that was infected with HIV, and then consumed her body parts in hopes of speeding up the process of death.
This guy is such trash. Like, what poison on society? Like, why bother putting him anywhere other than a goddamn ditch and just putting a bullet in his fucking head?
On November 10th, 2008, Arthur was complaining about a pain in his leg. He was taken to Albany Medical Center, and while there, he went into cardiac arrest. He died at 9:50 p.m. at the age of 63.
That's disgusting. That he got to live to 63, this piece of shit.
Arthur took the lives of Jack Blake, age 10, Karen Hill, 8 years old, Dorothy Blackburn, 27, Anna Steffen, 28, Dorothy Keeler, 59, Patricia Ives, 25, June Stott, 30 years old, Marie Welch, 22, Frances Brown, 22, Kimberly Logan, 30, Elizabeth Gibson, 29, Darlene Trippi, 32, June Cicero, 34, and Felicia Stevens, 20. And those are the...
Fuck all that.
And that is our...
Oh my god, look at that piece of trash.
So that's him when he was arrested for the murders of Karen Hill and Jack Blake.
He looks like someone who jerks off out of a van. He looks like someone who's perpetually fucking constipated.
I find it very strange that if he did sexually abuse his sisters, they wouldn't admit that.
Yeah.
For them to stand so strong and say that, no, we had a very normal childhood.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I don't know. It could have happened, and maybe they're just wanting to protect their peace and not have others know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is just a man that is, like the psychiatrist for the prosecution, is disassociative. And he lives in a fantasy world. And he just lives in his own web of lies. Or lived.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He looks like a cum gargler. You know? You know, like after you've done jerking off outside your van at the bridge and you're thirsty, you just gargle a little bit of cum.
Gross.
He looks like he would have like a disgusting New York accent. His fat ass nose and his beady little eyes.
Don't disrespect our New York listeners if we have any. We say it with love.
He looks like the kind of person who never knows when his ass crack is out.
Yeah, he does look like that. He looks like the kind, and like he wears the t-shirts that rise up, so the bottom of his belly always hangs out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he belongs on like a toe fungus commercial on YouTube. You
Yeah.
know? Like a toe fungus ad.
Yeah, he's the
and
before.
Like, yeah, and like an Asian doctor is like, that's toe fungus, and he's just looking really sad. Because it's like the 72nd time that it's happened to him, like this April. Like, he looks like someone who would have like different shaped nipples. Mm-hmm. Like one is a little bit like a triangle, and the other one just isn't there.
Yeah.
He looks like someone who lies about going to fucking war.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the story of
Arthur.
Arthur.
Well, Arthur, John Shawcross, you fuck. I hope you're burning in hell.
Who are we doing for quotes?
Do we know anything about his time in prison? Like, did he get a good fucking raping?
There's no, no. I didn't find anything.
I
doubt he did. I doubt it.
Where's the justice in this fucking world?
So, who are we quoting from now?
Well, we went through all of Peter McNichol, Mariska Hargitay.
No, I want to do someone that I at least find entertaining.
You don't like her? Why don't we do...
That I find entertaining. I never said I don't like her.
Why don't we do Ice-T or something?
I guess we're just going through the Law and Order cast here.
How about Richard Belzer?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know shit. All right, here we go. Now it is time to listen to his iciness. The famous rapper, Icicle T. A good MC will rhyme a lot of different ways. Don't limit yourself.
I think what it is you sound a lot like him just normally, and you just got to do like a bit of a higher pitched voice.
A good MC will rhyme a lot of different ways. Don't limit yourself.
There we go. All right, John, candy.
God, I'll never be able to do that again. Thank you, Icicle Tea. I appreciate it.
And I hope some of you were drinking with me, so I didn't do this alone.
Yeah, well, I'll catch up.
I will be
Don't you
drinking
fucking worry.
with recordings moving forward because we have changed our recording date so we can be more regular for you.
We try.
I'm
I'm
we're
not even
taking
regular naturally with my
We're
feces.
taking our Activia so we can be more regular for you.
Yeah, we're taking a lot of Alestra.
A lot of Metamucil in
Yeah,
this
a
house.
whole bunch of Metamucil and Special K and fucking Musilix.
Lots
and,
of fiber. Yeah.
yeah. And on that happy note, drive home safely, drink up, and bless your hearts. See you later.
Goodbye. And don't forget to check out our bloopers after this. You can check us out on YouTube at Catam Concoction.
That's CATAMCONCOCTION.
And on Instagram at cast_Aghast.
Remember, there's a silent H.
I just have to double check that I didn't read this one already.
Oh, goddamn, you're an idiot.
No, I didn't. Okay.
Goddamn.
You'll have to bloop that out.
All right.
Already a spelling mistake.
Arthur. Arthur John Shawcross. I'm going to put that in D&D. My name is Arthur.
Oh, God. Okay. All right.
That's fucking stupid.
Try not to wiggle around.
I'm trying.
You ready?
Yeah. I said let's get on with the show that is goddamned.
That are believed by some to be a common and...
That are believed to be by some.
Okay. Is debated within the field. Do I need to repeat that?
Yeah, that was terrible. Do it again. Debated within the field.
Gum.
Get the gum out of here. Put in the fucking garbage.
Some researchers argue that these behaviors may be indicative of underlying psychological issues. But
It's indicative. Indictive.
some researchers argue that these behaviors may be indicative of underlying psychological.
Bless you. Hiccups.
Arthur was known to be the school.
Arthur was known as the school bully and would act
Arthur was known
as.
Okay, stop.
I can't.
Arthur maintained his innocence
A good MC will rhyme a lot. He's got a. His vernacular is not. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to his vernacular. Hold on, one sec. A good MC will rhyme a lot of different ways. Don't limit yourself. I can almost hear him say.
Yeah, you sound like him.
Good MC will rhyme a lot of different ways.
No.
No, that's more Cat Williams.
Yeah, that was more Cat Williams.